Hey, this is Brian Fitzpatrick from Moebius Adventures Games, and welcome to the next episode of our podcast featuring our playtest of Tattered Magics, which is our upcoming urban fantasy game. We had most of our group together. We were missing a couple of people due to some weather concerns and driving conditions, but we had a guest player that had a chance to stand in, and that was my daughter AJ, who has helped out in the past with a great deal of playtesting. She was one of our original Aliens and Asteroids playtesters and has been, as I say, subjected to some of my gaming for years and years in a variety of ways. So she is well attuned to the madcap antics that our groups usually have to go through. But we had AJ, Dan, Robert, Shannon, and KB in attendance. And we got well over 2 hours of content, so we're going to break it up into two chunks. This first chunk is going to include a brief summary of the plot that we've explored so far and a little recap of what happened last time, and the first 40 minutes or so of the session. And then we'll do a second episode later in the week to catch up with the rest of the adventure. So, without further ado, let's get started. And if you're looking for anything for Moebius Adventures, please check us out on the web at moebiusadventures.com. That's Moebius adventures.com. And check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're kind of all over the place. So find us, and we'd love to engage. So thanks again, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome to the next session of Tattered Magics. And we're going to forego the character introductions and kind of do a deep dive into where we started this whole mess back in September. And we have the whole group here except for Kae and Victoria tonight because of weather. And we have a guest player, my daughter AJ. So say hi, AJ.
Hi. Yay.
So
Yeah.
she's been tortured through many gaming sessions over the years. So she is well familiar with all of the bad drawings and horrible puns. So we started back in September, and all of these people had no idea who the heck they were, and they arrived in Plunkett individually, and came together to attempt to stop a Fey invasion. And I said attempt. It was a valiant attempt. They almost made it, and Dan is only a little bitter. Just a little bit.
A little better.
Minor tantrum.
But they had a good time. We fought everything from goblins and a hobgoblin to some elvish wizards that never really had much to do with it other than throwing some spells. And some ogres who had some cool stuff. So, and there was a hole in space and time that they came in and out of. And we tried to close, but didn't close enough. So anyway, long story short, they didn't survive, or they didn't stop the wild hunt, which rode a bunch of horses and dogs through the wonderful town of Plunkett, Wyoming, and stole souls from about 130 some odd poor individuals. They did rescue a few that night, and they watched as all the dogs, or most of the dogs, I think you guys killed one or two, made it back through the hole after the big bad sacrificed himself to open the hole back up. And they all disappeared. And so did he. Not quite the same way. That's another story for another day. So they then had some downtime. They flew in a helicopter to a helipad, and then they were picked up and joined Tattered HQ in England. And they had a few months of downtime while they trained a little bit, learned more about their own abilities and more about the supernatural. And that is where we picked up this lovely adventure. What did we decide? Like 4 months? It's like, yep, left at the end of October, and you left at the beginning of March. So it's March 4th in game. So, and we'll introduce AJ's character in a little bit. But they were instructed to figure out what was going on with a weird crime scene that they think has to do with vampires. So they've had all sorts of entertainment going on with talking with the coroner and checking on the poor folks in a coma at the makeshift hospital at a high school that was abandoned. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there anything that I've missed that you guys think needs to be thrown in here?
Well, I was going to say this is kind of a trial mission for us, right? The Tattered sent us out. It's to see how well we are at investigating and remediating.
And Reggie is there. Reggie is in town watching you guys.
Reginald Stone, yeah.
He has a bowler
And that's about as useful as he is so far.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
He wasn't the one with the bowler hat.
Is he?
No. That's Augustus Smith. Snoot.
This is why I should have brought it.
It's okay.
Yeah, where are your notes at?
You know
Sore spot.
Alvin.
I agree. He has a bowler hat, a tweed suit,
No,
and a bowler hat.
no. Not
There was a
again,
different
that's
guy
not-
who had a.
Totally wrote it down.
There was a
That's
different
not
guy who
Reginald.
had a hat.
Totally
that,
wrote it down.
Jacob saw.
It just said proper man.
Proper
Do you
man
remember the
wearing
group of
You can't even
concerned
remember
citizens patrolling?
proper man
Oh,
wearing
yeah,
a
yeah,
tweed
yeah.
suit and a bowler hat.
Oh,
No,
that
that
was
is-
when
That's not
Jacob
the
saw the
first guy.
neighborhood watch.
I don't even know who the first guy is. I wasn't around for the first
Oh,
guy.
right, no, because
I'm only for the second guy.
the bowler hat guy was the apparition kind of fellow that I saw.
Maybe. You don't
He
exactly
wasn't-
know what he was.
wasn't entirely human, and he kind of vanished into thin air, and he was following a group of concerned citizens.
And then when you were following him, he turned and looked at you, and
Yeah.
then that freaked you out and freaked him out, apparently, and he left.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
But we know lots of people who can hide in shadows
Right, yeah, that's true.
at this point. It's no longer
Oh, yeah.
unique.
Well, even you can hide in shadows.
Although I don't think Jacob told anyone about bowler hat guy. Much.
I don't believe it came up.
Standard.
Doesn't tell anyone about anything.
And yes. Correct. It'll be even harder now, which is fantastic.
It's
So,
true.
which does bring up where we all left off last week.
Hospital,
So,
Yes.
3rd floor, window.
Yeah.
Room full of crap.
yeah, so Jacob and John are in a room on the 3rd floor of the hospital. There's nothing in there. There's a lot of desks and crap and a shiny bit of metal in the window and a sandwich in front of a raven on the floor. And the raven is Jacob, and John is trying to teach it Morse code. I think.
Trying to figure out.
That's true.
Level of
That was a bit of a
communication.
discussion there.
He's
Yeah.
like, how are we gonna? Because Jacob seems to have no desire to leave. Anyway, that's where we are.
Meanwhile, Alvin and Ryder are currently over by the cemetery to check out the funerals that are currently going on for the most recent comatose patients who have passed away. And we had overheard a couple of grave diggers saying that there were some disturbances with some of the new graves, and that one of their co-workers, Jose, was missing. Ryder is oddly very quiet, due to
Oh, God.
John getting on the walkie-talkie and basically saying that he was disappointed in her, when all she wanted to do was to radio to him and Raven Jacob that Jacob's clothes, although stinky, were going to be hidden in a bush for later. And that's all I have to say about that.
I love you.
Love you too.
John does not. Okay.
Ryder doesn't love John
I
anymore
know.
either.
Well, but she will. She will.
No.
Love will happen.
Love will keep us together.
And there it goes. All right. So that's part
And-
one.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to talk about Vicky and?
Oh, and Vicky, so we have Diana Pitt and Brooke Page there at the urgent care because Vicky's character slapped herself with a bunch of temporary tattoos that put her to sleep in an attempt to be picked up and taken into the coma ward, which backfired because they'd said, no, she's not having a coma, because John, with an H, was out front with his gun, being grumpy, and would not allow you guys back in after being co-opted by a spell by Brooke.
Having had the opportunity to find his one true love.
Right.
Right.
He did miss that opportunity, and he will forever regret knowing what would happen with Brooke Page from that day forward. Maybe. And so they're at the urgent care, and she's going to wake up probably just fine, but we'll deal with them in another episode because they're not here. So we're going to pick up. All right, so that takes us to today, and we're starting out at about noon on March 4th, which I think we only got through about 2 hours of the day last time.
Yeah.
It was a very eventful day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to start at the graveyard because that can wrap AJ in. Because I know where AJ is. All right, so you guys are outside, and you can see that there's a group of people gathering at one freshly dug area of the graveyard area, and there's probably 15 or 20 people gathered, and you guys are standing outside with the gravediggers. Do you guys want to go into the graveyard, or are you going to stay outside the gate where you chased poor Abernathy months ago now?
I think I'd actually go up to the diggers that are kind of hanging out, and I think I want to talk to them.
Okay.
Because they're all just kind of like chilling.
They're just chilling. They're
Okay.
like on a break, waiting for things to wrap up so they can finish their job.
Okay. Are they smoking?
They are.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to them and be like, "Hey, you guys got a spare cigarette on you?"
Yeah. Yep. Sure do. Nope. I'm all out. I'm sorry, dear.
That's okay. I don't smoke anyway. So I heard that you guys were talking, and you had said that there were some weird things you had spotted after having buried some of your recent town members.
Oh, you don't want to hear about those.
Oh, but I do.
Do you?
Well, yes, that's why I'm asking.
Oh.
I'm
Okay.
Ryder, by the way. I'm gonna hold out my hand.
I'm Bill.
Bill, it's so nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about the disturbances in the cemetery. You said your friend was missing too,
Yeah,
right?
Jose. Yeah, Jose went missing about a week ago.
Holy crow!
No, I don't think he's Indian.
Oh, okay. Is that normal for him to?
No, he's a hard worker. He was here on his own time trying to see what was going on at the graveyard, and we haven't found him.
So kind of like what I'm doing right now.
Talking to us?
Trying to find out what's going on at the graveyard.
Oh, well, you see, we dig holes, and then we put bodies in the ground, and then we fill the holes back up. And unfortunately, when we come back the next day, sometimes those bodies are dug back up. And
the bodies are missing? Or taken?
parts.
Have you told Deputy Bean and Deputy Branch about this?
Yeah, we've reported to the cops.
Oh, okay.
They're a little more concerned about the murders or the comas or whatever else is going on in town. This is a lower priority.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like they're all related.
What?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, no, it's just speculation at this point. But I mean, it's better to keep all your options open, Bill.
Huh. Well, I can point you at some of the graves that have been dug up. There was one fresh one this morning.
I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Bill.
Uh-huh. If you go to that quadrant over there, it's near grave A11C.
Grave A11C. Is he, messing with me, or does it seem like he's actually being legitimate?
You don't remember ever seeing a map of where anything is laid out in this graveyard, so his point is just as good as him saying A11C or anything else.
You know, if you just led us there, like, directly, you know, I'll buy you a pack of cigarettes.
I'm
Since
not.
you're apparently out.
Can you wait till the grave, till the ceremony's done? We're not supposed to go back into the grounds until they're done. We're not supposed to rush them.
Give me 1 second, Bill. Alvin, what should we do? And I, like, don't step aside from him at all. Like, I'm still just standing right next to him. Just like, excuse me. Alvin, what should we do?
Give me a sense of how big the cemetery is.
There are a lot of cemeteries in Plunkett over the last 200 years.
Okay.
And this is the biggest cemetery here. So it is large and in charge.
So, I mean, do you think we would struggle trying to find
Well, he pointed you in a direction, but beyond that, you don't
Ryder,
know.
I think we should try it out. I think we can figure it out.
We're going to be here for a while if you get lost.
Will I be able to see you from this grave A11C area?
How good's your vision?
Pretty good. I mean, I don't have to
Maybe.
wear glasses, so...
Well, that's better than me. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, bye!
And we start walking away, and I ask Ryder, how come you didn't show him a picture of your dog?
Well, I mean...
You okay?
Well, no.
You seem kind of out of sorts.
I mean, you heard what John said on Milwaukee. I mean, it was...
Oh, yeah. John.
You know, a picture of... You know, I should look at a picture of Camel, because, you know, that will cheer me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good thing that guy didn't have any cigarettes. Today would be a terrible time to start. And so then, you know, I reach into my pocket and I kind of like flip through a couple of like Polaroids that I have in my jacket and I'll be like, he's a beauty, ain't he?
He is.
And then I'm just like walking, but only
so
staring at the
she's
picture.
not focused on anything but the pictures in the wallet. Would you like to roll an awareness check?
Yeah, I would love to roll an awareness check. 13. Nope, I missed it.
Okay.
Are you looking at the picture?
I must have been looking at the picture of Camel as well.
Would you like to roll an awareness check?
Because we're about to bump into you.
Yeah.
There's two weirdos walking towards you.
Did you just describe us as weirdos?
Excuse me, we're the weirdos? Oh, shit.
They're all like, run from them!
You know, wait, run away from those two and come to us.
One of them's looking at some pictures in her hand, you think.
Can I just yell at them?
Yeah, you're standing along a fence. Like, you're at the furthest, like, northeast corner.
Am I by myself?
Yeah, you're standing there watching a grave that was just dug earlier in the day.
Hey, what are you doing?
Who are you?
Vincent.
Hi, Vincent. I'm Ryder. I'm looking at some pictures of my dog Camel.
Can I see your dog? Yeah.
Oh my god. And so I like lift one up and it's like a picture of a little pit bull.
Oh.
This is Camel. He's retired.
Oh my gosh, I love him so
Thank
much.
you. I love him too. I'm so sorry. Are you here for the service?
No.
or maybe.
Jose is your friend.
Oh yeah, so
Oh.
who's Jose?
He's
The missing-
the grave digger that went missing.
Yeah, missing grave digger.
And he told you that he was going to be looking out for something that was going on overnight, and he never reported back, and that concerned you.
Okay, but they asked me if I was here for the service, and I'm not here for the
Correct.
service.
You are not.
answered that.
But you can maybe share that with us.
Or
But like you
Like
didn't
share
ask my question.
information.
Or you could be like Jacob and not say a damn thing. Ever.
I have a wealth of knowledge. That's very perfect.
How long have you guys been here?
Well, we just showed up. I mean, we were talking to Bill over by the entrance there.
Yeah, Bill. Bill, he's friends with Jose. Do you know Jose?
I don't know him, but Bill said that Jose was missing.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
miss
know-
him.
Oh, you miss him too?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Was he your friend?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
He said he was supposed to be here. We were supposed to meet here, and now he's not here.
Like here specifically? Like what exactly are
He
you
was supposed
looking
to be looking for something that happened overnight here. We're also looking for something that happened overnight here. Oh my gosh, wait, you are?
Yes, we are.
What are you looking for? Jose?
No.
Oh.
Alvin, but should we tell her the truth?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure,
we're looking
let's
for
sure.
vampires. Possibly.
Maybe Jose's a vampire. No, he's not. Sorry.
Okay. We'd be happy to help you try and find your friend Jose. If you want to join us in our search.
Can we look for Jose too?
Alvin, I think that's what I just said. Alvin! I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I'm standing there with a perplexed look on my face, trying to process
So
the
you
most
see
interesting
the
conversation.
hole in the ground? I think that had something to do with Jose.
Are
Well,
we near a hole?
Okay, so Jose is a gravedigger, so he probably did dig this.
Oh.
That's probably the correlation.
No,
there.
but like this isn't a dug hole. Like it's kind of a mess. Like you should look at the ground and not your dog.
Alvin, watch my back here, and I say this very loudly, and I begin to observe the dirt.
Roll an awareness check.
Okay, cool. I
Observe the dirt. That is the episode title, just so you know.
Observe the dirt.
Well,
I'm writing that down.
Cool. I'm observant, so I get to roll 2. Oh, good thing. Okay, 4. Yes, I study the hell out of that dirt.
I am also observant.
Yeah, you got to remember that.
I do have to remember that.
Yeah. So Vincent is correct. This used to be a very nice pile of dirt over a well-dug grave.
Okay.
But it is now almost as though an animal had reburied something here.
Like a dog?
No, with your roll, I'm going to say you might see some naked footprints in the pile of dirt. And it is March, so they had to like defrost the area, and then so there's like an area that is just dirt and ground, and then there's around that is snow.
Okay. So there are barefoot tracks, but it looks like an animal redone.
I'm confused. Is it like a barefoot track or like a bear person? Like a naked person, or is it like a bear, like an animal?
Do a nature check and let me know what you get. It's an education check. At an advantage.
I don't have.
You do. You have the nature skill.
No, I
do you
don't.
not? You didn't take it?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
I have 8. I got it anyways.
You're pretty sure it is a human foot or human-ish foot with some really long nails.
How did Jacob beat us here? Because he's naked, right? Or he was naked when he turned
Who's
into...
Jacob?
Oh, he's another one of our friends. Apparently he turned into a bird, but he left all of his clothes behind, so... I mean, if he ever comes
He
back...
sounds kind of fun.
Because he's naked, or because he turns into a bird? Alright, Vincent. It's been an adventure, for sure, already. Where did the tracks lead?
Well, they led into the grassy area, and then you can see them head towards the forest, where you guys ran through the forest at one point chasing ghosts a long time ago.
So just to clarify, the gravesite was reburied, or it's like they dug out of the gravesite?
It is tough to tell. All you can tell is that the dirt was put back in a haphazard fashion onto the pile of dirt that was on top of it.
Do you think Bill would be okay if we dug it back up?
I think you should go ask Bill that. And we'll stay here.
Alright.
Alright.
Can I go see Bill?
Yeah.
Hey, Bill. Hey, can we unbury that grave, please? What is it? C something?
So did we make it to AC11? Or A11C?
You don't actually... There's no labels on any of the gravestones, so you don't actually have any clue.
I think we should dig it up.
Hey, no.
But it's already dug up. Please.
Not until the funeral's done. They get
but they're
upset.
not gonna see. They can't see. It's
They
fine.
get upset when people start digging up other stuff when there's a funeral on.
Okay, I'm gonna go dig it back up.
Now I know what fighting between the two of you looks like. That's scary insight right there.
It's part of my investigation, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I need it. It's for the animals.
What animals?
Mine. The forest animals.
Forest
I gotta
animals?
make sure they're okay. I'm gonna go dig it back up.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be here.
Can I come back? We can dig it up, everybody.
Okay, so why don't you start on that, Vincent? I'm gonna go. You said that the footprints went off into the forest.
Yeah, they like.
I don't think you should go by yourself in there.
Oh, I'm not.
There's
Alvin's coming with me.
there's a wrought iron fence that goes all the way around the graveyard. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Vincent scares the poop out of her. She does not feel comfortable.
Ryder's having a pretty rough day.
Ryder is having a rough day.
She's all out of sorts.
So there's wrought iron that goes all the way around the graveyard, and it goes all the way up to and through the fence, and then kind of disappears in the high grass.
Okay. So this barefooted person.
You're not there.
No.
I know!
Huh. I hate that. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I just go to the cemetery there.
Eat.
I don't know what to do.
Okay, so
Does anybody have a shovel?
No. Go ask Bill.
I was waiting for that question.
yeah, me too.
Yep, I was waiting.
All right, Ryder. So let's just take a moment here.
I think that would be a good idea.
So we're hunting vampires,
During the daytime, which I don't agree with anyway, but yes, go on.
and now we've found what appears to be human, but not quite human footprints.
Well, they just have long toenails, so maybe they're just not very hygienic. It's probably a guy.
Maybe vampires have
I'm
long
sorry,
toenails.
that's-
I
I
can't
yeah,
argue
that
with
was-
that
I
rationale.
retract
that. That was
I
kinda
can't.
mean.
I can't argue with that rationale.
We don't know what we're looking for.
We don't know what we're looking for.
No, we don't. Except that, maybe a vampire.
I want to go dig up the grave.
Okay.
Let's go dig up the grave.
Okay.
Be interesting to see what we find.
Okay.
Is there like a shed around, a utility shed or something?
Only at the entrance where Bill and his cronies were standing.
Can I go ask Bill for a shovel?
I mean, we could just wait for the service to be over, Vincent. People have passed. It might be better. She starts shuffling through her pictures of her dog again.
Can I see your dog too?
Yeah.
You three roll an awareness check.
No.
Double tens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Okay. You hear singing over at the funeral, but it's not coming from the funeral group itself.
This has happened before.
Do you guys hear that?
No.
Yeah, I do. And this has happened before, but it happened at night and it was super creepy.
Wait, but what do you hear?
There's some singing, Vincent.
Here, Vincent, and I brush your hair away from your ears. I'm assuming you have hair.
Can we make out the words?
They're muffled.
Can we make out the tune?
Are you familiar with a lot of music?
Just the regular amount.
Is this the same singing that I heard when we met Abernathy? Back
Could be. Mm-hmm.
I glare
You
at
think
the
you know what this
cemetery.
is, Ryder?
Well, I've heard this kind of singing before, and I really wish that Jacob and Brooke were here, and I'm just so scared. Because last time that I heard this singing, it might have been something to do with this dead guy named Abernathy, and he's a spooky guy.
I know who that is.
Neither do I.
Alright.
He's been dead over 100 years, and we let him out. And
What?
Well, because he asked us to, and
Is he a turtle?
No.
Let him out of where?
He was in what's the word? Mausoleum? Yeah. Yeah, he was in the mausoleum thingy. You know,
He
like,
buried people.
Wait.
Wait. He was in a mausoleum for 100 years?
Yeah.
And then how did you let him out?
So
with my crowbar, and Brooke kind of punched it open.
So he's...
Who's Brooke?
Oh, she's an actress. She's beautiful.
Is she another friend?
Yes. Okay. She's my best friend.
Nice.
God. This just gets worse and worse for Ryder.
Is there a mausoleum around?
Towards the middle, there's these little buildings that were kind of the center of the graveyard where the oldest families were buried.
Sure.
Was it a person who you let out?
In a sense, I mean, he was in there over 100 years.
Was he the vampire you're talking about?
No, well, not as
Ryder,
far as
sure.
I know. He never said that he was a vampire. He was like,
You talked to him?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because there was like this whole mystery thing around like his death, and if Shannon had her notes, she would know the details of that. But it had something to do with the mine and some people that were happy that he was dead, and he was going to go seek like retribution against them, and you know, it may not even be him. This might be something
I
totally
think we should go
unrelated.
see if we can find the source of the singing.
Okay.
Can I roll another awareness check? Because I still can't hear the singing. No, wait. Oh, I got it. I can hear it this time.
Yeah.
Is it coming from the guys?
Can we determine?
Which guys?
The
It's not coming
funeral
from the
guys.
funeral.
Is it
Is it
coming
from
the
Bill?
mausoleum?
It's coming from the center of the graveyard.
Yes.
Is that where the mausoleums are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make our way there.
Okay.
Okay. As you get closer,
It's noon. We're good.
I have bear spray if it makes you feel any better. No, you can
No,
have
that
it.
actually just
You can
scares
have
me
it.
more. No.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
How about a flashlight
No.
in the middle of the day?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Yep. I like Vincent.
I do too. I do. John will. No.
He fits right in.
Yeah, John's gonna have a heyday.
So you guys get closer to the mausoleums, and you hear a familiar voice to you singing Amazing Grace in the middle of the graveyard. It's muffled through stone. And as you get back to the mausoleum where Abernathy was found the first time, you notice that there's some really new stonework that was put back up. Looks pretty fresh. And he just keeps on singing.
So can I see him yet, or I can just hear him?
You think he's inside?
Okay, inside, and the stone's been like relayed basically to hopefully block him inside.
Yep.
So, Ryder, what happens if you let this guy out?
Oh my god.
Last time I let him out, he wanted to go find people that were like the descendants of the people that might have had something to do with his death, if I'm remembering correctly. And he's basically powerful enough to just rip a door right off the hinges. And
He doesn't seem that nice.
I mean, he was nice to us. He didn't hurt us or anything.
Is his singing good?
And
Well, it's a little gravelly.
What's the end?
You're able to
Is there
redirect him.
more?
From what I remember, because we followed him into the house where he forced his way inside, and he, like, grabbed a lady by the head, and then she, like, fainted or something. Like, I was afraid he was going to rip her head off. And then he left, and then that's when John showed up. Oh my god.
Well, someone in our party, I don't remember who it was, redirected Abernathy.
Oh, that's
Said,
right.
Like, the children don't pay for the sins of the father.
That's right. Oh my gosh, I totally told him that too.
Yeah, I was going to say that happened, and then he kind of, like, redirected from that point, and
don't forget his carnage, his
there was, like, a series of newspapers
That's right.
that we were able to keep track of his journey across states.
Mm-hmm.
He's a serial killer.
Well, he hasn't actually
He's
killed
not even
anybody.
necessarily, like, human.
Is he a ghost?
No,
Nice.
he's more physical.
None of the
yeah.
stories actually said that he ever killed anybody.
But
funny enough.
Right, yeah.
He just went.
he was out, and now we think he's back in.
Yeah.
So someone put him there.
He's more like a ghoulie kind of thing, if I had to really pin it on something.
Is he like a genie?
No.
No,
like
he's
Nope.
more solid form than that.
Can he help us?
I don't.
Would he
know.
help us?
Ryder, is that you?
Hello, it's me.
We really need
What's
video for
happening?
this. The podcast is awesome. But
The faces are better. I
and
know.
the way that she's playing with her hands right
I'm
now,
just
like
so
she's
nervous.
totally like kneading her hands and twisting them all back and forth. It's awesome.
I'm so nervous. Hi, Abernathy. Is that you?
Yes.
What are you? Why are you here?
This is where dead people stay.
Okay, bye. I started like marching away, just like go. I don't want to deal with it.
Nope. Yeah.
I chase after Ryder. What are you gonna do, Vincent?
I'll go with them.
Okay.
Why is he so...
Ryder, can he help us?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can go ask him. Just go introduce yourself. He might be reasonable. I'm just really scared
Why don't you like
Why are you
him?
afraid of him?
because he's like powerful enough to just rip a door off his hinges with like one hand, and he's just very intimidating. And he was supposed to be dead like 200 years ago. So like, how the frick back is he still alive?
What happened with that, like, John guy? Why do you keep... Who's John?
He's John.
Oh, John.
What happened with John?
He's part of our group. We're part of the Tattered. Have you heard about us at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
You
So
do know about the Wyoming Supernatural Organization, the WSO.
Am I part of that?
You're an affiliate member.
I'm an affiliate member of the WSO.
oh, cool. Okay, so that's what brought us all together here at first.
Except for me.
Except for
Who are you?
Alvin.
I'm Alvin.
How did you get here?
I'm part of the Tattered, but I wasn't part of the WSO.
We originally showed up
Alright.
here because of the increasing ghost sightings that had happened, and then there was a series of unfortunate events that caused other things to happen. And John is just part of the group, and he's a crummy old man. He's very mean. I'll say it. He's mean.
What did he do?
He just doesn't say nice things. But
I'm sorry.
it's okay. We just need to work together, because I know he wants to do what's right, and so do I.
I'm not certain who wants to do this right, by the way.
But anyway, he's hiding out in the hospital right now because we want to go all sneak into there at night because, that's when vampires are supposed to be out.
Why are there vampires in the hospital?
Maybe.
Why?
Because some people seem to have had vampiric bite marks on their necks.
It's a blood supply.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just a bunch of people laying there and they can't defend themselves. So that was one of our plans. Like, I have a pair of scrubs so I can dress up as, like, a nurse and try and fit in at night, so...
I mostly just wanted to leave John there for the rest of the day.
Oh, okay.
Well, he wanted to. He's hiding up there with Jacob the Raven.
Why don't we like John?
I'm not enough
You
of
can
what
make
to
your
say.
own
Yeah.
decisions about him. I'm just angry with him right now. Which reminds me, I need to go make a quiche. Because John wants a quiche, and I told him I'd get him one.
But if you're mad at him, why would you make him a quiche?
Because I want to be the better person.
Maybe make him a not-so-nice quiche. But like an acceptable quiche.
I don't even know how to make a quiche. Alright, let's go talk to Abernathy. I don't know what to do.
Alright.
And I'll stomp back over to the mausoleum.
Alright, we'll leave you guys there. We'll go back to the hospital. What are you guys doing for the day? I mean, I know that you're reading your books, the good book and the not so good book.
Yeah.
And you are enjoying a sandwich.
Yes.
Still.
That's a very big
You have
sandwich.
multiple hours. Sundown is not until 6:15.
Probably he's probably quite okay. He's actually, he's quite okay.
It is quiet here, except for the occasional tapping.
Tapping.
The rap tapping upon your bedroom door.
Nevermore.
Never exactly.
I really would like to meet. Yeah. He's probably just fine. Like, he's waiting for everybody to go home. And probably, and I'm sure I try to engage in. Actually, I don't know. This might be the nicest time.
I know. I was going to say this
look
might
up
be
at
the
him
only
and smile,
quiet
like,
time that John has had since
October.
Yeah.
So you might just look up at the bird and smile and go back to it, recognizing that other than a couple noises that you're not going to be annoyed. How far away is the graveyard from the hospital? I can't remember.
It's not far as the crow flies.
Raven.
Ravens
She's a raven.
have
He's a raven.
Cloth the raven, nevermore. But no, it's not far. You could be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, the common raven has really good hearing.
Yeah.
If I were just chilling in the window, would I hear Abernathy?
No.
No. Too far?
Yeah. You're in the middle of Plunkett, and they're on the far north side of Plunkett. Towards the Tetons. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jacob. Once for yes, twice for no. Oh. Was that too hard on Ryder? That was no, Rat. 1 for no, 2 for yes. Rat? Can't remember what I just said.
Wow.
So Jacob's gonna hop over and peck at your hand.
Ow! Some bitch! It was 1 for yes and 2 for no.
And then I'll peck your book instead of you.
Just once.
Yeah.
So I was too hard on her?
Once. Yep.
You know I'm only doing it for her own good, right?
Single tap? Sure.
That's all I need. As long as I know she can grow from this, that's cool.
Okay. Are you all full up on all of your spells?
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Do you need me to roll anything?
By the way, you cannot regather
Yeah, I was going to say.
as a bird. It doesn't work that way.
You meditate as a bird.
Right.
Shiny thing.
Right.
Shiny thing.
However, you should probably get observant on everything. Do you ever need me to roll to see if things change?
I don't know. What if he's comfortable sitting alone in an abandoned room in the quiet, which he hasn't had in forever?
That's perfect. I don't think I don't.
I will have you roll in a little bit when we get closer to the time when there's a shift change, maybe.
No. I was just.
Are you sensing that something may be going on?
No. No, I don't know. Am I? No, I was.
No, you and Ryder
because I was
disconnected as could be right.
No. Of course not. No.
Are you talking about the reading of the light in the dark?
Yeah. Although I don't think I was reading the dark. I think I was just reading.
Focusing on the light.
Well, in plays.
Okay.
So, the Good Book and Plays by Shakespeare.
Okay. So you're not, unless you choose to focus on the bad book.
Yeah.
Time and other things tend to disappear when that happens, so it's okay.
All right. Do you plan on coming out of that anytime soon? There,
Aggressively taps twice.
He starts flipping through the big book.
Oh no!
Not for right now, just for something to have, on hand.
All right. So you're working on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives him something to do. And other than that,
when you're ready to do something, let me know.
Yeah. When I hear the shift change, when I hear people go away,
right.
Is that cool with you? Well, you can leave whenever. I'm just not trusting him to a 3-story fall.
I mean, you saw your people go off in a direction, probably.
Yeah, my stuff's down below.
You know where your stuff is.
Yeah,
you can smell your stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
So can I, actually.
So can half the population.
It's all good.
So I had the bones with me. I know as a bird I can't cast, but I also know the importance of them.
Mhm.
So probably make me a little uneasy, and being a bird and a little bit more jumpy than human form.
Okay.
I would like to fly down and retrieve the bones and bring them back to.
So I'm guessing since you cared for the bones as a human being, they were on an interior pocket.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to take some.
So because
speaking
Ryder,
to get it out.
Ryder is very specific in the way that you do things. Did you fold the clothes when you put them aside, or did you bundle them up?
They were originally all in my hands, and I remember I had talked to Brooke about possibly taking them back to the hotel to actually wash them. And then that was when I tried talking to John and letting him know where the clothes were. And I think in the end I just kind of dumped them behind the bush. I don't think I...
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
So it'll take you about an hour to kind of nudge into them, get the stuff out of the pockets that you want. But eventually, you're persistent.
Yeah, no, I just like to get them up. So
are you going to fly them up one at a time?
Well, so they're in like a little bag, because there's not many.
How many are there?
I'd say there's 12 pieces.
And how much do they weigh?
I mean, I'd say the whole thing is less than that.
You're good.
Yeah, because they're like small animal bones.
Okay, good.
And like a little, probably ugly ass sack, but yeah. So Jacob the Raven would like to go retrieve.
Are you going to take them up to where John is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
what? Do you want me to do it?
So I fly up to the window with them
bag
in my beak.
Those are your bones?
And I'll tap with a foot. One.
Flap.
Right? Single flap.
What do you want me to do about that? Oh, son of a bitch. Did you just bring them up here for safekeeping?
And then single flap or tap.
A flapper tap.
May I take them from you?
Right, I like swat at you with the wing.
I was just, God damn it! I was just trying to help you.
So I'll hop across the room and search for a hiding place.
It's not hard to find.
Right, yeah. So just drop them and then look over my bird shoulder.
Looking askance. Yes,
Right.
it's a good word.
Right, and then I'll go back to the sandwich, I assume.
Well, you're hungry now.
Yes, I've expended energy.
All right.
That was an hour.
Yeah, 1 hour down. Only
Right?
only 5 more to go. Oh, good. I'm scared. How precocious is John going to be? Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on how well he rolls.
Okay.
So that takes us to through the first part of the session, and we're going to continue in the next episode. We have another over an hour, so I didn't want to overwhelm everybody with the first full actual play that we've recorded. If you're interested in more about Moebius Adventures, please do stop by our website at moebiusadventures.com. That's MOEBIUS adventures.com. We also have a Patreon page if you want to support. Mostly we've been doing aliens and asteroids, but soon, as soon as we release our Urban Fantasy Tattered Magics game, we'll be releasing stuff for that as well. So look for us on Patreon, again, for Moebius Adventures. And we'll post the next section of this actual play probably later in the week, probably in a couple of days. So stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we look forward to continuing the story next week. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.